Now let's look at the financial nuts and bolts. The Leeds City region now brings in £55 billion, whereas Wales has an annual economy of £46 billion. Our region is home to 3 million people, the same figure as the Welsh population. Now the Welsh Assembly gets £14 billion a year from the Treasury. That money's spent on things like education and healthcare. Our region obviously benefits from government cash too, and has recently been given an extra £1 billion to help improve public transport and the highways network. But the story isn't all bad for Wales. Recent figures show that since devolution, household income in Wales has risen faster than the UK average, and employment has significantly outperformed the UK. So maybe we should start watching our backs.
I don't know if Wales is the hot contender. I do know, and it is quite surprising that we're making more money, generating more income, have a better economy in what they call the Leeds City region than the entire country of Wales. That's jaw-dropping. The chair of the Leeds City Region Partnership is Roger Marsh. Good morning.
Good morning, Liz.
These are astonishing figures. You really think of Wales, an entire country, and here are we. I know we're God's own county, but it's an amazing success story.
I guess, Liz, I'm often surprised that we're surprised regionally just how big and important our economy is, not only to this part of the country, but actually to the whole of the UK, representing 5% of the whole economy.
Are we fighting against the austerity recession then? Have we done well? Well, clearly we have, when other people are struggling.
I think we've recovered well, but there's still plenty to do. I mean, we've recovered the job employment position back to the peak employment across the city region, but that still doesn't deal with some of the fundamental problems that we have to deal with.
What's the biggest problem you've got now?
I think the biggest problem facing the employment aspects are the young people, 16 to 24-year-olds, making sure that they have a proper future. But we need to build on the strengths of the city region, and we need to make sure that we shout loudest for what is important for the country.
I keep stressing it's not just Leeds. What we're talking here is West Yorkshire, Barnsley, Bradford, Calderdale, Craven, Harrogate, Kirklees, Leeds, Selby, Wakefield and York, all of whom have vibrancies and strengths of their own that come together. What interests me is, where is the majority of this wealth, this economic regeneration? Where is it coming from?
Well, the truth is that it's spread right across the city region. If you think about the differences between the concentration of financial and professional services, say, in and around Leeds and some of the other major cities, as compared to the growth in the manufacturing, particularly in parts of automotive, in the Kirklees, Calderdale, Bradford corridor. And it reflects the diversity of our city region, which is why it is important to the whole economy. For example, you'd be surprised to learn that 2/3 of the world's turbochargers for diesel engines are made in Kirklees. Would you be surprised by that?
Yeah,
I was when I learnt it.
I didn't know that.
Would you be surprised that the 8 universities that make up the city region, they generate 50% of research which is either world class or world leading? Would you be surprised by that? I was surprised by that. And these are some of the facts, and I could go on, and probably boringly so, that make it such a virtue of our city region.
We've been talking this morning to a couple of people who are very pleased with these figures, and obviously give a nod to Wales, who've got the similar population but aren't doing as well as we are. But they say this is a sign that there should be the Greater Republic of Yorkshire, there should be devolution, that there should be self-governance and less centralisation in Westminster to help this economic growth and really put a stamp on God's own country. What's your view on that?
Well, that's a big political question. I think.
Can you not answer that?
Of course, I can answer it. I'll give you my answer. I think there's great virtue in local determination, making sure that local people are in charge of the strategic ambitions of the city region. But to be in charge of the strategic ambitions of the city region, you need resources, and that's where the devolution should come in, both powers and resources, to self-determine the future, be trusted to make sure we make the right investments for the benefit not only of the city region. Absolutely. I think it's essential, particularly if you're going to rebalance the economy in the way the coalition is trying to do. You've got to put it in the hands of people who really know the detail and who actually are passionate about delivering better for both the economy, the people and the communities of the city region like ours.
OK, so put your name on the list then for the Republic of Yorkshire in one form or another, and of course how much that might cost us. These are good figures, and it's an interesting comparison with Wales. Are we set to maintain this financial stability in our region?
I don't know about set to maintain. I'd like to see it actually improving on a steepening gradient. I think subject to some of the things I've talked about in terms of devolution of powers and resources to tackle the important problems and build on the strengths of the region, I think we have every potential to grow this economy by a further fifth by the end of the decade.
Roger Marsh, thank you. Chair of the Leeds City Partnership on Liz Green Live. 8:15.